Welcome everyone. We have an international audience, some people from Australia, the UK, around the States, Canada. Great to see everybody here. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. I am Jason there on the left, and we are lucky to be joined always by the one and only David Rockland. David, thank you for taking the time to join us here in the webinar.
Hey everybody, glad to be back with you for another webinar as we approach the end of the year here. Really looking forward to some of the updates that we've got to share with you all today.
Yeah, today's going to be lots of updates to share and a few items that are coming soon. So we look forward to getting through all those today. And also good news, we are streaming on YouTube Live. So for those of you joining us on YouTube, hello, I hope you're doing well. One of the benefits of streaming on YouTube Live is the replay will be immediately available after the webinar. And if you're not subscribed to the Brilliant Directories YouTube channel, we definitely encourage you to do so. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/YouTube and just click on that red subscribe button. It's a great way to stay updated with our newest videos, tutorials, the webinar replays, tips of the week, and tons more. And alongside with that, as I mentioned, the replay will be available in the Brilliant Directories Facebook group. If you're not a member there, all are welcome. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook and click on that blue join button. Really constructive discussions happening in there. A lot of people are busy working on their sites, asking for help, giving suggestions on how to find workarounds or strategies on how to grow their community. I'm in there as well. It's a great way to communicate and learn from fellow BDers, so we certainly invite you to join us there. All right, and let's dive right into the BD Lab updates. There were quite a few, but we've kind of cherry-picked some of the best ones that probably will be the most noteworthy to share with you. One of these is a repeat. Just wanted to mention to everyone that this is now a feature. We'll start here right at the top. More recently, we introduced the ability to select stock photos in the admin area, available to everyone. We have the Pexels stock photo library, the Pixabay stock photo library, and now the very fun GIPHY photo library. The GIPHY one is the one where you can kind of send funny animated GIFs to your friends. You do it on your smartphone. You can include them on your web pages and in your emails now from within the admin area. We released a secondary add-on to complement this for the front end when you're creating your posts. And now with that, you have access to this third stock photo library, GIPHY, and let me quickly show you how you can access that. Let's go to the admin area here. Well, actually, this will be on the front end, and I'll just show you how it works first and how you can enable it when you have the add-on for the front end version of this. So let's just quickly add a post here, a community article. And if we come down to the text editor here, when you have this enabled, you'll see this library icon here. I'll go ahead and click that. And when you have this library icon, let's just search for dog. And this is searching the Pexels library, millions of photos there. And then you now have a drop down with additional libraries here. So the new one we've introduced is GIPHY. There is one more we're going to introduce in the next couple weeks. It's called Unsplash. That'll give BD users access to over 10 million stock photos. But the fun one here, let me just close this and reopen it here. We'll go back to library and let's search for Snoop Dogg. So this is from Pexels, but we can toggle GIPHY. And we can see here we have some fun kind of memes and GIFs from Snoop Dogg, and we can include them into our blog articles or wherever we want. So this is connected to the add-on stock photo library for posts specifically. Everybody has it without the add-on in the admin. This is for posts. I'm going to share this in the chat here, and let me show you how to enable this when you have it on your site. So if we go to the admin area, there's two things you want to do. First, we'll go to the advanced settings, and we just want to make sure, and this will be enabled by default, but if you just want for good measure, search for stock, basically stock photos, and you're going to want to make sure that these are checked. These are the different text editors available both to you, the admin of the site, and to your members when you're working on your site from the front end, like you're logged in as a member. So just make sure these are checked. The second thing is you want to then give access for the membership plans that have access to these stock photos. So maybe this is a premium feature for your premium members and you only want to give a certain membership plan that access to these photos. So we can come here and edit a membership plan in the finance section. And again, what's really cool is you can use the search here. I'm going to click stock and it's going to find the stock photos, and you can actually choose which libraries you want to give them access to. So maybe GIPHY is a little too playful for your site and you don't want to give your members access to the GIPHY library, but you want them to have access to the Pexels and the Pixabay library. You can pick and choose. So once you've done this for your members, then when they're creating posts, they would have access to those stock photo libraries. Taking a step back, if you don't want to give access to your entire membership plan, you just want to give it on a per member basis. Maybe this is a boost that you sell or an upsell that members pay a la carte for. You can go to search members, and if you go to the quick edit section, and under listing settings, you can choose if they have access to the stock photo library. So you can actually assign this on a per member level or the entire membership plan, all members of a membership plan. We'll probably dive into that in a future webinar. This next one here, pretty important actually. I would recommend everyone pause and see what you're using on your homepage. We've created a new speed update for your homepage, and we're all familiar with the streaming widgets that you can have on the streaming content you can have on your homepage. Let's go to Demo Bootstrap. This is our demo site, for example. So if you're streaming things like recent articles, let's go to another demo here. We'll go to the classifieds, or we can go to the event one. So if you're streaming events, by default, these thumbnail images, we're always using the larger version that was available in your Brilliant Directories site. However, there are thumbnail versions available, and the thumbnail is usually just enough size to display here, and it's a smaller file size. So now you can choose if you want to use the regular full size image or the actual thumbnail size image here. The reason by default we use the full size image is the images were a bit crisper in those situations, but that really isn't an issue anymore. So let me show you what you can do. And just to reiterate, let me go back to a regular site here in our webinar demo. So here on the home page, we are streaming some blog articles. They don't have any images yet, but we're streaming some properties and we have some coupons here. We don't necessarily need the full size of the thumbnail. So if we go to the design settings and we go to the section where we edit our homepage and the content that we're streaming down the homepage, enable additional sections. And this is going to be related to your posts. So anything you see with blog articles or property listings or coupons or events, that is where we will find this setting. So if we go to streaming coupons as an example, we can hit edit, and we'll now see an image quality drop down here. By default, it's going to be large for everyone because that's what it's always been, but you can, and I would recommend switching this down to thumbnail size. It's not going to make a gigantic impact unless you're streaming, dozens and dozens and dozens of images on your homepage. But it is going to tick the needle on your page speed for an improvement. And if you are loading tons of images, it's going to have an even greater benefit for you as well. So depending on what you're streaming on your homepage related to posts, you can come in here and just do a few clicks, and I would recommend choosing the thumbnail size. Go ahead and check it out and see the difference. Open up 2 browser windows and compare the full size with the thumbnail size and see if you see any differences, and you can choose the one that looks best for you. And just know the thumbnail size will be a smaller image, and which will help the page load just a bit quicker. This next one is also related to speed. Also related to these homepage streaming widgets. Sometimes on mobile devices, we don't want to show all the content that we show on desktop view. We show kind of an edited version of the site because there's limited space on mobile. You don't want people to scroll as much on mobile. You want more attention to your calls to action on mobile. So you just want to create a better mobile experience for some people. And sometimes that means removing content on mobile devices, and that is up to you, the website owner. It also does help reduce the number of elements loading on mobile, which can also improve your page speed scores for mobile. So what you can do, we've kind of filled in all the gaps. We had it for most of the streaming sections, but we've now completed it with a few more. So if there is a section that you don't necessarily need to render on the mobile view of your homepage, you can come in here and you'll find a setting, hide on mobile view, yes or no. And you can You can set it to yes, then go to your site on your smartphone and see how the site looks, how it feels. Maybe there's something that's taking up too much space on mobile. It's a custom piece of content that you added to the homepage streaming sections. But now you have that control. And maybe if you cut out maybe 2 or 3 of these, one, it'll improve the page speed by reducing the number of elements needed to load. And 2, it'll draw more attention to your more important calls to action, which are hard to find on a mobile device because you have to scroll up and down to get to those calls to action that we want, those actions that we want users to take. All right, this next one here, I had a deep conversation with Elon, and he is sticking with the X logo for Twitter. Mainly what we were waiting for at Brilliant Directories, and I'll show you. And this update basically is updating the Twitter logo to be the X logo on the front end of your sites. There's 2 places where that happens. Let me show you. So on the members profile page, when we're looking at their social icons, we'll now see an X here. You guys there's no further action. This is automatically updated now here. And in the footer of the site, when the site is sharing their social links, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, X. What we were waiting for was this share button here. This is generated from Twitter. And up until now, they maintained the bluebird chirping logo. So now they've updated this. This is coming directly from Twitter or X. So now that they've updated this, we've also updated the logo here. So there's continuity and there's a uniform match with those assets for Twitter or X. Okay, this next one is related to emails. We did mention it in the previous webinar, but I thought it was noteworthy to mention once more. You can now add emojis to your subject lines and in the body of your email templates. Super value. I would recommend, your welcome emails that your members get, your lead emails when they receive a review. There's probably about 4 or 5 key emails that your members get. And the best way to find that out is to sign up to your site as a member and interact with that profile. Send that test profile a message, see the email the website visitor gets, see the email the member gets, and also see the email the admin of the site gets. So it's good to just create those test accounts and play around with them, interact with them, and see how the site behaves, emails that are sent, etc. But let me show you an example of why this is so exciting. I'll dive into the admin area here, and let's go to emails, email templates, and we'll just create a new email template. So let's say we want to welcome our new premium members. So we can create a subject line. I like to do open. Here, I did one before. You're in the network. And we added an emoji here. Where you can find it for the subject line is on the right-hand side here. So I'll toggle this open, and we've added all the safe emojis, which means emojis that will render properly on Android, Samsung, and Apple smartphones. And usually those will just work on desktop as well in Gmail, Hotmail, etc. So you can do a search here. We can look for smiling, and we see all the smiling faces here. And what's cool also is what I was really excited about is having it available in the body as well. I'll just grab something here. And actually, let's do something fun here. Let's add a GIF here. Let's go back to this library here. And let me just, before I do that, let me show you where you can add emojis here in the body. It's over here. You'll see emoticons. And it will be the same emojis available in this drop-down list here. So maybe we want to use a cool guy, and we'll say, you're in. All right, so now let's add an image here. Click on the library, and let's stick with Snoop Dogg. Snoop dancing. We'll do GIPHY. All right, you can also search for things like you're in or you made it. Let's search for something with text. There we go, congratulations. So let's add that in there. So now you can see just very quickly, this is, this is very quick, but you can kind of animate your emails, get a little more playful, or if it's a more professional tone, maybe you don't want to use a GIF there. Let's add just like something from another one of the libraries. Say you made it, and we'll search Pexels. Say thank you, like thank you for joining. So there you go. So very quickly, we don't have to scour the internet anymore for these images. We could just work very quickly within the BD admin area to get something that's 80% good enough, because we're busy doing other things. Most of us are solopreneurs working on our sites alone. So these are just some tools to make things a bit more quick and efficient for you. And last one here, video posts. So as you know, we have event posts that you can have on your Brilliant Directories site coupons, etc. You can also post videos just by sharing a YouTube link or a Vimeo link. We've now extended support for YouTube Shorts, TikToks, and something I recently learned about, what's called DailyMotion. So now you can share a link and it will add it to the post. You don't have to do anything else. Let me show you what that looks like. So here we are in a member's account and they want to post a new video. And they come in here and we'll just call this one YouTube Short. I'll call it 2 because I have another test. So here you just have to pop in your YouTube or Vimeo link. And if you're offering this to your members, educating them is a good idea because videos are the easiest content to add to a site because the videos themselves are the entertainment. So if you educate them on how quick and easy this is, they might be more inclined to use this. So if we come here to YouTube, you know the short section, it's basically like Instagram stories and things like that. So let's see what we got here. So we see the URLs up here. So from the short, and if we come here and just paste this in and save the changes, and then again, you can add, enter a description here if you want. You could also embed the video here. Let's see if we just put that short in here and see if that works as well. I don't think 50-50 it works with shorts. That's why we kind of wanted to create this integration here where you just have to put the URL. Let's view the post. And here is the short here. And it doesn't seem like it got it in the post. Shorts are a bit special how they're embedded. So now we do support it in this manner here. And the same with TikTok. So obviously TikTok's more popular now. You can just take the URL of a TikTok video and let's create a new post. Do new video, and I'll call this TikTok 2 because I have an example of it already. All we have to do is pop that link in there and we'll save the changes and we can view the post. And like magic, we have TikTok videos available on the site right here. And if we go to the search results page for videos, we can see here there's a preview of the image. That was actually the most challenging part of this update, was fetching the feature image and getting them to kind of render properly or with a good design here. But now it is available. And the same thing with DailyMotion. DailyMotion is similar to another YouTube type of site with video content libraries and things of that nature. So lots of new feature releases here, and we have one more fun slide here. We have a bunch of new add-ons coming soon. I'm going to breeze through this list. I'm not going to get into too much detail here, but we do have a new add-on coming down the line. I would expect its release mid or end of January, but it's going to allow BD users to block traffic by country. So I don't recommend everyone takes advantage of this. I know it's kind of, it seems appealing to just want to go in there and only select the country you want to target, but keep in mind your website visitors or your members may be traveling the world and you don't necessarily want to block traffic. This would be blocking traffic from countries where you're noticing high levels of spam or unwanted signups and you just want to, and they're not related to your site in any way. You can then go ahead and block the traffic from that country. We're going to have easy settings for that. This is the cover image for that add-on. So as soon as it is released, we will notify the Facebook group and make an announcement in an upcoming newsletter. Also in the same vein of blocking spam, this will be available to everyone probably by the end of December. So on the internet, there are services that provide people with disposable email addresses, one-time use email addresses, and a lot of SEO companies or spammy companies use those to sign up to sites. And they look for sites where they can create free profiles and whatnot. So we're going to be creating an area where you can actually block known disposable email addresses. This is going to be next to the spam block keyword settings. We recently released blocking spoof characters. These are called homoglyphs. They look like regular characters, but they're used by spammers. And there will be a block disposable email address here. So these will be the domains of email addresses that are known. And we'll have a default list for you. It's a pretty vast list. And if you notice some patterns on your own site, you can then add those to this list as well. And that should help mitigate unwanted signups to your site even more. The next thing after that, we are adding the ability to search for duplicate member values in the admin area. Again, this is another way to kind of keep your data nice and tidy. And what this is going to be most used for, and we have a mock-up here, this isn't the final version, but when you're in the search member section, you can search for duplicates, and you'll be able to check things like email address. So you can search which member, and it'll find any members where they have the same email address, and you can decide if you want to take action on that. So where this is going to be really valuable is by check marking like the user IP. So if you notice that a lot of your members have like 20 or a bunch of members have the same sign up IP, but they're different members, that might indicate that it's an SEO company or some company that may be spamming your site, and then you can decide if you want to take action and quickly, delete all those listings, or if they look legitimate, you can just keep things as they are. But searching for duplicates will help website owners keep their data nice and tidy and kind of get ahead of any issues that may be coming about from people adding duplicate content to their sites. And another one, right now you can search by a specific IP. We're going to introduce searching IPs by country. Same thing here in the search members page. Again, this is a crude mock-up here, but you can certainly search by an IP address with the numbers, but there's going to be a drop down so you can search, for people who are signing up from India or Germany, or it's just going to be a list of all the countries, and then you can search, and then again, you can see if there's any nefarious or unwanted activity on your site, and then you can use the bulk actions to kind of get rid of those listings if you choose to, or you can just keep things as they are. But again, this is going to allow website owners to kind of have a better grasp of the type of activity coming to their site and where it's coming from. Okay, this next one is actually I'm most excited about. So with that add-on to have stock photos for your posts, we were choosing photos in the text editor, right? So we were coming, let's see a quick example here. We were coming in the text editor here, and we were using the library and searching and putting things in the description of the post. What we're introducing soon is the ability with that same add-on to choose stock photos for the featured image of a post. So let's say you're going to be posting a community article. Let's go back here. All right, let's say, again, and you can choose which members or if it's just for the admin in their blog, but you'll be able to publish content a lot quicker and being able to choose a featured image without having to search the internet for something that's going to look good to complement the article. So let's say we want to write an article on 5 benefits of walking your dog in cold weather, and we can certainly upload an image that we might have, but if we're doing content in bulk, we might not have an image to complement every article or post that we're creating. So we can search the stock photo library, and we'll search for dog walking. Again, we'll have access. In this case, GIPHY is not available because that's an animated GIF. It doesn't really work well for a featured image, but we do have the other libraries here. And we can see lots of pictures of dog walking. This is in cold weather. We can add it here. And now we have a featured image for the article. And I always love mentioning it. We marry that with the ChatGPT integration. So we just put a prompt here, write 500-word article on X, Y, and Z. And we have ChatGPT spin an article. If you have a topic and you have the prompt, you can basically spin an article pretty quick, add your own edits on top of it. This would be a great way to start an article as an outline, but definitely then you want to come in and put the human touch. And here is an article. This wasn't on the walking your dog benefits, but it was something else we used in the past. So very quickly, we can see we have a featured image. We have the article, and then of course we can add additional media here. We can add videos, more images to decorate the article, and we don't have to leave the website in order to do all of that. So helping BD users and your members create content on your site a whole lot more effectively and efficiently. 2 more coming down the line, and this was a long extended list here, and thank you guys for all your suggestions. A lot of these updates come from your ideas. For Zapier, those of you who are using Pabbly and Zapier, currently you can create members, create posts, and create leads. We are soon about to release the ability to add reviews to your site in the same way. So if you have reviews from third-party sources, you'll be able to create workflows that add reviews to the members on your site. So we're pretty excited about that. And then lastly, this one here, we've been talking about it for a few months, but as you know, a lot of updates came in the way, but we are soon going to release, I'm very excited about the newsletter update. It will allow you to exclude certain smart lists. So if you want to email a group of members, but also exclude another group of members when you're sending a newsletter, it's going to help you send really laser focused newsletters to certain groups. After the newsletter send, you'll be able to create segments based on send stats. So people who opened or didn't open newsletters, you'll be able to create smart lists from them. So if you need to re-email people or figure out what you want to do after a send, you can do that. And also, this is pretty cool. You'll be able to schedule newsletters for future send dates and time. Currently, you have to just click the button and it goes in real time. So if you do your work in the middle of the night and you want an email to be sent at 8 a.m. the next morning, you can rest assured you can schedule it and it will be sent at that time in your time zone. So these are just a handful of the updates that are coming soon. We're not having a tip of the week today. There were just so many updates to share. But I'm going to lower everyone's hands here. And if you have a comment or question about the new feature releases or something coming soon here, before we get to the general Q&A, please feel free to share a comment or raise your hand and ask a question. And we'll be happy to take a couple of those before moving on to the general Q&A here in the webinar. Okay, let's see if Colette has her hand up here.
Sorry, hi Jason, how are you?
Wonderful, how are you doing?
Good, thank you. Jason, just a quick question about the newsletter emails. How detailed will the stats be for those send stats?
So you're going to see which emails bounced or couldn't be delivered because they're a bad email address or for some other reason.
And that will give the email address for those ones that bounced?
You'll see the list. So, and then you'll see who the email was delivered to, who opened the email, and if there was a link in the email, who clicked a link in the email. And for each of those, you can create a separate group or segment from those stats.
Fantastic, thank you.
You're very welcome. Great question there. All right, great. I don't see any more hands up here. Thank you guys so much. You know, these updates are a product of passion that we have here at Brilliant Directories, and really we're just trying to deliver the most we can to you guys and as quickly as possible. So without further ado, we're going to open it up. If you're having any trouble on your site, have any general questions, this is an open forum here. You can raise your hand and we will do our best to assist you on your site or answer any questions that you might have. If you have a hurdle or a roadblock or you're stuck doing something, this is a great way for us to kind of provide some one-on-one assistance to you guys here.
We do have a question that Jean wrote in. They were wondering if utilizing the stock photo library, browsing those images, and then also inserting them, if that utilizes the website's bandwidth.
No, it does not. They're pulled from an API, so it shouldn't affect the website's bandwidth. All right, Steven's got his hand up here. I got two Stevens. I'll start with Stephen B here.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, how you doing, Stephen?
Oh, hi. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm also on this bandwidth question here on the videos and the YouTube and the TikTok. Is that when the thing is loading for the customer, you know, the buyer or whatever is going to see the video, is that using bandwidth? And does it go slow as it's loading? Does that hurt with Google when you have the TikTok video and the YouTube video in there?
So the reason we embed from other sources is because it doesn't use the site's bandwidth to stream the videos. So that's actually one of the benefits. If you were loading like a local MP4 file, video file on your site and people were loading that, it would definitely utilize all the bandwidth for the entire file size of that video. So to answer your question, no, it does not use your site's bandwidth for the size of the video that you're playing on your site from YouTube or TikTok, etc.
Oh, please, one more question about that. And the pictures from the galleries, you know, we can't really see the size. Are they, you know, 33 kilobytes or are they 6 meg? You know what my question is?
Which gallery?
Oh, from the 3 different.
The stock photos?
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry.
Gotcha. So that's a good question. So they're coming from the stock photo libraries themselves, and those guys are optimization and compression experts already. So when you search for dog, for example, these sources have like 3 sizes you can pick. And what we put here is kind of like a guide. A large would generally be about 1200 pixels wide. Medium is 650 pixels. That's not the size of the image. When you're using that size image, it's going to be the smallest size it can be from what I've tested for the images that are coming from these sources, because they're sharing billions of photos, daily across their entire network. So they're going to want these images to be as compressed and optimized as possible already. But they do offer 3 different sizes. So based on where you're using the image, if it's going to be a small thumbnail in a blog post, you might want to, for your site, use the smaller image for that specific image. If it's going to be like a hero background image and it's the full width of the site, you probably just want to go ahead and use the larger 1200 pixel image for that.
All right, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Good questions there. Thank you. All right, let's go to Stephen W here, number 2. Stephen, number 2.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, sound perfect.
Great. Thanks for all you guys do. It was a great job.
Appreciate it.
So quick question. One of the updates that you had mentioned on the last call, on the last webinar, was something to do with internal triggers. It's like a, like a Pabbly Zapier type of thing, but you were building internal triggers. Can you talk more about that and if that's available yet or when it's coming and how that's going to work?
Yeah, so I can show you in Zapier. We have yet to, let me take you there. Just give me a second here. I know you're using Pabbly, right?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
I am.
So we're a little behind on that. We're just doing everything on Zapier first. Probably in January, we're gonna just kind of, because we're doing a lot of updates to Zapier right now. So once the dust settles on that, we can kind of take stock of the updates that were made in Zapier and then pass them along to Integrately and Pabbly. So here's an example in Zapier. So normally if you want to send data out from your Brilliant Directory site to another platform, we always recommend using the webhooks. And webhooks are a universal way to port data out from your site and then into Zapier or other platforms that accept it. In Zapier though, webhooks is a premium feature and requires a paid account. That's not necessarily the worst thing, but it's just one extra roadblock. So now with this update, you'll be able to have triggers. You don't need to use the webhook. So if you want to, anytime there's a new lead on your site or a new post or a new member account on your site, that can be a trigger, and then that data or that information can be sent to other platforms. So we don't need to use webhooks. We can kind of just do this. We can just trigger this directly based on an event that happens on your site. And an event would be right now a new lead, a new post, or new user. New review would be another thing coming soon. But this way you can bypass webhooks and it's just a direct trigger to start your whole workflow.
Got it. All right. So for Pabbly, because Pabbly doesn't charge for webhooks using all that, so it's probably less used for Pabbly then, right? Or less needed, I should say, for Pabbly.
It's less needed for Pabbly. I actually prefer the webhooks to an extent. They're kind of, we include so much data when we send out a webhook, and there's so many types of webhooks you can create with Brilliant Directories for different actions that are happening on your site. So in my opinion, it's more versatile. This also works great, but we're just trying to expand how we're working with these integration platforms by doing this.
Got it. Well, since I have your ears, I just want to put in a suggestion. It's only a suggestion, you guys.
Please, yeah.
Is that what would be ideal is there was some sort of a trigger for a completed profile as defined by the admin. So, because what happens is, at least for me, if the profile is complete, meaning they got a picture, they filled out all the different sections, so on and so forth. However, I defined it. Then I would want the data to go over to Pabbly in my case. But I think the only way that can work at this point is if you do a smart list. It sits in the smart list for like a week or a day or whatever, and then it gets sent. It's not immediate, is what I'm saying. So there's just throwing that out as an idea.
You're absolutely right. Thank you for that suggestion. So completed profile trigger webhook specifically. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how you would do it.
Yeah. Right. Well, we want to ping something when that happens. Yeah, you are right. Let me just take a quick look with you here right now. You are correct. It sounds like you're familiar with the syncing. So let me see what we have here. I think I need to enable the smart list first. Just one moment here. Webhooks. Where am I? I lost myself. Here we go. I'm just, because we just recently released this, so let me just search for smart lists. Let me turn this on real quick and save the changes. Oops. Okay, let me put a value in here. All right, let me come back here. Just doing a quick and dirty check here. So if you come here, schedule date. Yeah, so you are correct. You would create a smart list of people who fit into the completed profile. And are you looking for something more instant, like checking like hourly or by minute?
Well, I mean, obviously the sooner the better, no doubt about it. But I mean, the idea, the concept would be, you know, a member comes on, they fill out a profile, they just finished it, like literally a minute ago, and then I don't know what the time period is, but not long after that, that's the trigger itself. Finishing the profile becomes the trigger, automatically sends it off to wherever, Zapier, Pabbly, or whatever. I don't know how you operationalize it, but that's the concept. I know that you can, again, create a smart list and it sits there for 23 hours until it then gets sent over on daily basis. That's sort of just an added benefit. That's all. Just a
Gotcha.
suggestion. Yeah.
I'm with you. I will think about it. We maybe want to increase the frequency of that, at least as a starting point, smart list syncing frequency. I already know some workarounds, excuse the spelling here, but I already know some workarounds in my head. Maybe we could talk about it in the Facebook group. That might work for you. Okay.
Yeah, thanks. Only suggestion. Thanks.
Yeah, appreciate it, Stephen. Always good suggestions. Thank you so much, buddy. All right, let's see who else has their hands up here. All right, Horatio, let me unmute your microphone. How you doing, Horatio?
Hey, Jason, how you doing yourself?
Pretty good. Where are you calling in from? You said hello at the beginning of the webinar.
Yeah, Crystal City, Texas. I actually from Eagle Pass, but just moved to Crystal City.
Okay, great. Thanks for being with us. What's your question?
So I got a little problem with the widget. So I'm trying to create a widget where I can display only the nonprofit organizations under the categories. And
Okay.
a couple of times, but I can't get it right. So hopefully you can help me out with that.
Okay, can we take a look at your site real quick? See, maybe we'll give it the 5-minute test here, 3-minute test here.
Okay.
What's the name of the site?
411 Buzz City Guide, BUZZ, cityguide.com.
Okay, let's get a look at your site here. Okay, and yeah, kind of just direct me to where I should go and then what you're looking to do.
Okay, so far I created a new page under nonprofit organizations.
Okay, let's go to web page builder and search for non here. Okay, nonprofit organizations. Great. Let's take a look at this page.
I'll insert a widget. And I was kind of using the help center, the AI help center.
Okay.
You gave me some instructions, so I did that, and it didn't work.
Okay.
So then I went into the widget manager, and from there I created the widget that was, and then copied the link and added to the page.
So let me ask you, how do you define a nonprofit organization on your site? Is that a category they've selected, top level or sub level?
Yes, categories under nonprofit. That would be under. Let me see.
Got it. Okay. So your top level category, let me search for non here. So it would be nonprofit. So the category ID is 99 here.
Okay.
Okay. And you're wanting all these to link to, because this looks like, let me go to this link here. It looks like entertainment, event planning services, but you just have these nonprofit here. So you just have, how many are here?
So I wanted to show all the nonprofits on one page.
Okay, so you don't have that many, which is the good thing. I could do something very quickly for you if you'd like me to. What I would do is I would just one thing because there's such few categories. What I would recommend doing if you're going to go this route, let me show you something here. Let me just show you kind of an example of a look. So what you might want to do is use the content blocks and is just create, links. And because you have such few categories, you can create, add a complementary image. So it's not just text. It kind of pretty the site up a bit, just as a thought for you to do. And you could utilize the content blocks for that. But the quick thing we can do right now is I could literally just copy this rectangle here and put that in a widget for you. And I'll do it here for you. I'm not going to delete the widget you made.
Okay.
I'm just going to go new widget. I'm going to put, I'll just put webinar non-profit list, and I'm just going to drop that in there and save the changes. Now let me copy the short code, and let's edit this web page. I'll just put mine at the top here above your code. So not to kind of get rid of anything, I'll just put this above here, put a bunch of spaces. So save that. All right, everybody take a deep breath, and let's see if it's at the top of the page here. And here it is at the top here. So, and then you can remove this one here if you wanted to.
Okay.
I'll just go ahead and save that real quick. And you have it here. My suggestion again, because this is, I mean, it is small text here. I mean, the categories are listed here, but I would recommend maybe perhaps, I mean, you can choose what you want to do. Let me edit this page just a moment. I would recommend kind of taking the time to, you know, let me come down here actually. You can use any one of these where there's like a 4-column system. And what's good is you can kind of just replace the image. Let me see if this is working here. Oh, there's a little glitch here right now on this site, but you can replace the image and use the stock photo library and what's one of your association foundations. So, you know, just search for something that looks
Similar.
like it'd be, yeah, that would be good. You know, like, you know, this guy right here, but maybe you want, you know, do the same orientation. Square is a safe one because we know they're all squares. The height and the width are always the same. So, you know, you could get different charity pictures or, you know, things like that. You can also search the Pixabay library.
Okay.
It's good that there's multiple libraries here. Sometimes you search, it's very literal what you search in these stock photo libraries. So like helping is a good one. And again, you can toggle between the pixels and thing, but that's what I would recommend to do.
Actually, I like that one. I like the idea. It's more visual and it's a great suggestion.
Okay, so I'll leave it at that. I won't do anything else, but for now, you just have your nonprofit categories here to start.
Okay.
All right, and we passed the 3-minute test, so thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Cheers. All right, good questions from Horatio. All right, we got Dwayne here. Let me unmute your mic, Dwayne. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Got a quick question. I don't know if this is possible. If not, it'd be a great suggestion. When a member is in his backend and he's added his subcategories, so he already picked his main, but going to his sub, and
Yes.
then he goes over what his limit is for that plan. Instead of just that box popping up and saying you can't do it, it should be a button in there saying, would you like to upgrade, and give them an option so they can pick more instead of just knowing they can't.
Can we check out your site? I think you can update that text label and you can do something like that. Can we give it a try?
Actually, I don't have my site together yet.
No, let me go to my test site then. Give me 1 second here, and let's do that together actually. So let's log in as a member here. I am actually logged in here as this sample member. This is our sample demo site. Let's go to his dashboard and let's see what his limit is. So select up to 10 categories. He hasn't selected any yet. So let's set that to 2, right? And then see what message we get. So his membership, he's a membership plan 1. I think that's a great idea, by the way. So go to edit here and we go to, I think, search visibility, maximum sub-level categories. Let's set it to 2 and refresh this page. It should change to 2. Okay, great. So let's do 1, 2, and if I do 3, let me reach, sorry, but you can only select 2. Okay, so let's search for, but you can only select up to. This should be a text label. Let's go to text labels here. Okay, so it's a combo text label. So sorry, but you can only select up to 2 categories. So there's another half to this text label. So we can put some text limit here. Upgrade. Let's just see what it looks like. Count to increase limits, and let's put a I'm just gonna put this as a link here. You can dress it up more, but just to see if it'll work. Upgrade your account. So this is basically adding like HTML And if you ever want to get the link for where this guy doesn't have an upgrade option, he's already the highest plan, but let's change that real quick. So signups and upgrades, and we'll say this guy can upgrade to, I'll just arbitrarily choose 2 other plans that this guy can upgrade to. Save the changes, and okay, I just want to get the link for the upgrade here real quick. So here's the change plan. So let's say there's just one other plan that's better on your site. So let's say it's this plan. So I'll click to continue. And what I have here now is I have the link that I want to send them to when I create that in the thing. So just again, I'm just kind of freewheeling here. We're gonna hit his limit again, and I'm just gonna do one more thing here. All right, let's save this. So I updated the text label when the category's reached, and let's hit that category limit one more time together. And all right, looks like I did something it doesn't like, and I think I know what it is. It's single quotes here. Sometimes text labels can be finicky. Let's see if that's what it is. Yep, that's what it was. All right, so we have 2. So let's do 1, 2, 3. So there we go. It says upgrade your account to increase limits, and this is technically a link. And then the message below it says sorry, but you can only select 2 categories. So you can put a button. You can put some pretext here if you want. There are some modifications you can put here, or instead of limit reached, you can say upgrade required. You know, but if they, you know, things like that. But let's click this link now, and it's taking me to where I can upgrade my plan directly using that link that we got before. So just to let you know, I'll share the text label here, category limit reached, and I'm actually going to share the code that I put in the chat as well. Obviously, it was just a quick and dirty way to do it. So this is the text label, category limit reached, and this was what I put in there. Obviously, yours would be a little different, but that's just to give you an idea conceptually of what you can do there.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Good questions there. All right, Sean's got his hand up here. There we go. Yeah, how you doing, Sean? Where are you calling in from?
I'm calling from Orange County. I do have a 3 question. One of the question I have, when you go to the search members section, on your right-hand side, there is a drop-down that you can sort based on ID, oldest or newest. Are you able to add the data from sort by most leads? Because we have a lot of members that they don't respond to their leads. So they're sitting in their box, and that's going to help us who has the most number of the leads as a member in the directory. Yeah, are you able to add something like that? So
it's pretty good. That's a pretty good suggestion. Most pending leads, least, I guess most pending, I guess most, also most accepted leads.
Yes.
Okay. You kind of figure out who these people are. Most pending leads would, okay. That's a good, Sean, that's a good suggestion, actually. Thank you for that. Search members sort option. Also, to search members who have pending leads, leads with certain statuses. So search members, search by certain lead statuses, which would be accepted. Okay, I'm with you. I mean, you just suggested it's a great idea, so I'll pass it on to the team. We'll see if we can get into the workflow.
That helps us a lot because lots of these members will complain they don't have a lead, but they tell you lead sitting in the box, they can answer it, and we can sort them at least, contact them.
Just to let you know, one more thing you can do. It sounds like you're familiar with the lead system, which is good. If you have leads that are not sold out or that haven't reached their total matches, their maximum matches, you can you can resend them the email to remind them. But I understand what you want to do. You want to quickly look in the search members so you can take other actions with them. Okay. All right. Any other questions, Sean?
Next question is the way this default setup of the brand directory is it goes with state and cities. Are we able, I mean, that's a primitive question, but are we able to add counties by default also? So for example, if I'm in California, it goes to the Los Angeles County and Orange County, and then goes to say LA or Burbank. Do we have that function as a part of the brand directory, or manually we have to add it?
You may need to manually do it. Let me check the SEO templates. I think it's country, state, city. I think it's country, state, city. I don't think there's a county in the naming convention for these. Let me just search county real quick. Country. Let me see here. Yeah, I think it does that what I just said. Country, state, city. Those three. You might need to just on certain counties you're trying to target. You could create some static web pages from those, or in some capacity, things like that.
The last note of this is you mentioned something about you're going to add the reviews, build a program to the API for the Fusion API. Is your Zapier able to add that one to the Brilliant directory?
Yeah, so so that's a good question. So when this is released, you'll be able to, if you're a developer, you can use the API directly. If you're a beginner, you're going to want to use a Zapier or a Pabbly. But basically, you can collect reviews, or if you have reviews from other sources on the internet or in an Excel sheet or a third-party form you're using, and then you can add that review to a specific member through those Zapier workflows or with the API.
That was it. Thank you very much for answering.
All right, thank you, Sean. Thanks for the questions there. Good stuff there. It sounds like Sean's doing some good stuff with his site. All right, we have Jean-Michel. Let me unmute your microphone. I believe calling from Quebec.
Hi, Justin.
How are you?
Good. Thank you. It's very helpful. So I have a question about the Google Maps. My directory is about cycling in general, and I'd like to know if it's possible, instead of like pins, for one of the features to like display, for example, a cycling route on the map.
To display the route, the cycling route?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So it's going to be a Google map, and it just has the directions of one pathway mapped out, you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, usually cyclists have they can like, for example, the person who's going to submit the route is going to have a file with the route. I'm just wondering if with Brilliant Directories it's possible to have this map feature to display the route, or instead of just the starting location.
Right. So okay. So I'm looking at Google Maps right now. It's a new thing you're asking. So here's a route, for example, right? Yours would have certain stops, right? Like, so it's because it's a very specific route. I wanted to just try something right now. I'm going to go to ChatGPT. Right now we don't have anything like that to do a specific route. It's just a pin drop of where a member is located and things like that. But create Google Map embed for my site showing this route. Let's see what it gives us, huh? To embed a Google Maps, open a route. Okay, open the route in Google Maps. Use the link you provide. Select the share. Okay, select. Oh, so you can do a route. There's a share option. Let's see. Is there? Let me look at this screen here. Do you see a share option? I'm looking too. Again, this is new. Let's see. Menu. It would be interesting that if there would be. Do I have to select the route? Okay, so I select this route. There we go. I selected the route. And here's the share. Okay, embed a map, and you have an iframe. And technically, you can put the iframe. I'm assuming your members would create a post of some sort. Yeah, so you can support the iframe in a post. Shall we do it together real quick? See if it works. You might need to unlock a couple things. Let's do it together real quick. Is this kind of the direction you're thinking?
It's not exactly, but it could work for improving the visibility.
Okay, let's just come to the text editor here. Let's do insert video. You put the embed code here. Let's see if that works. Yeah, let's see here. I might need to whitelist it because there's like protections for your site to not allow iframe embeds from certain sources. Yeah, you just need to whitelist it. So the way you do that is, I'll share the article, whitelist domains, iframe, directories. Okay, here, how to whitelist and allow third party. Let me show you, there's a user-friendly article here. Here we go. So this will allow you to do it. how to whitelist and allow third-party iframes to be embedded within. So all you have to do is this. You just have to put the source. In this case, the source is google.com, and you would just do this. Let's take it to the finish line since we're racing here. Okay, iframe. Let's see here. Here we go. Allowed iframe sources. So let's do comma google.com. Save the changes, and we'll try it again in the post. Let's go back to editing this post. Where was I? I got a little. Okay, let me just log back into the member. We'll try it one more time here. So we'll go to events, new event, publish, iframe test, and we'll come here. So you want to choose the insert video. It's not a video. Technically, it supports any type of whitelisted iframe. And we'll save the changes again. Okay, the start date for the event. I hope it'll work. Let's view the post. There we go. Now it's embedded here technically.
Yeah, interesting.
So, okay, there you go. Thank you, ChatGPT. Hopefully that provides some guidance for you there.
Yeah, thank you.
Let me also share this advanced setting in the chat here. I got too many windows. It's called allowed iframe sources. What you do is when you want to put an iframe in your post, look at the URL. So this is google.com, right? And then we want to put that into the list here, google.com. So I'll put this in the chat here. So Jean-Michel, you can add that if you like. All right, I don't see any more hands up here. Guys, it was a super fun webinar. I can't say how much we appreciate you guys in the BD community. Lots of updates coming soon. Tons of new releases. If we didn't get to your question today, please join us in the Facebook group. You can ask your questions there. Go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook, and we will have the YouTube replay shortly available shortly in the Facebook group. The next webinar right now is scheduled for just after Christmas time, between Christmas and New Year's. I think it's on the 27th. That'll be the last webinar of the year. We'll do something special that webinar. We'll post something in the Facebook group, see if we can get some excitement going. It has been a big year. It's been great to be with everyone here today. Next webinar in 2 weeks. On behalf of myself, David, thank you so much for everything that you've done in the webinar here for us, setting it up. On behalf of myself, David, and the entire Brilliant Directories family, thank you guys so much. Have a great day and a brilliant week. We'll see you soon. Cheers.